It is a new day. We are back working on the Beetle. I want to get this Beetle done so I can get the Miata in and get the scat pack that's been sitting there for 6 months installed. So we're gonna try and knock this whole thing out. I'm telling myself I'm gonna do it in a week. I think I have all the parts for it, so that's the one hesitation. But yeah, we've got the SRT4 aligned by the tape measure, welded in place. We're gonna go ahead and install the roll cage for it, which is a kit and a Rhodes racing kit. I have one in the side-by-side Beetle as well. Really like them. We're gonna install this kit, take the place of the A-pillar, give it some more structure, weld in some 1/8 inch floors, and then 20 gauge sheet metal on the sides to kind of make it look a little prettier. And obviously chop a hole in the hood for the turbo exit and do some kind of airflow inducer in the front. So yeah, I mean, that is a running and driving SRT4. Hopefully still is running and driving. And so yeah, let's just get started. Let's get this roll cage fitted, start getting all that in place, and go from there. So this thing's funky, by the way, and we're gonna continue to make it funky, and we're gonna go ahead and build this project to completion to see how stupid it truly is, see if it's even drivable, or see if it's just gonna go to the scrapyard. So yeah, should be fun. To start this off with, obviously last time you saw this, we chopped the Dodge Neon floor, chopped the bug front end, and we've got it resting in place. So we're going to install the roll cage, which is going to give it quite a bit of structure back, hopefully. And before we do that, I just want to make sure the floor stays completely aligned with the alignment measures that I took. So you'll notice some 1/8 inch plate up there, just holding everything in place. This has each of the front wheels to a 1/16 of an inch aligned. Forward and back. So at least it's somewhat aligned. You know, they're all somewhat plumb. So I want to try and retain that as much as possible. And we're going to start that by taking some more 1/8 inch plate. This is just beat in the vise over there. And plasma cup to make it fit. And yeah, that goes right there. And goes a little tighter than that. And then we'll weld that in on each side. And then we'll do some down gussets or maybe a flat plate right there. And keep welding everything together. Once I'm happy with the sheet metal structure in the front, it's onto the roll cage to add even more structure and kind of tie the whole thing together. And then we'll worry about all the fiberglass and everything else. So hopefully it goes quick. We'll see. This is all 1/8 inch plate, just kind of scrap 1/8 inch that I have. Plasma cutout, weld that on the gap on that side over this little cross member right here as well. And then this equally comes in play right there. So that's the way that it all works out. And then we'll fill in where the invisible trans tunnel will be, maybe flat plate or something. And that part of the floor will be done. It'll be airtight up until the original VW trans shifter leakage entrance and whatnot. But we'll clean all that up. And then I think we'll do the roll cage. So I'm just gonna blast through this floor. It's just really boring sheet metal work. So I'm coming to realize working on this project when I have, so many other projects like the race car Miata, the Jeep Rat Rod, the step side that I really love. This bug, I originally got it to match the side-by-side bug. I wanted an off-road one and a low one. So, that's kind of my brain thought there. And I really don't, I don't care too particular. I'm not too particular on, one, the quality of the welds, making this airtight, or really doing anything on the inside besides getting it running for right now. It's almost like a proof of concept type thing where I want to prove out that this is actually going to be enjoyable and fun to drive. So we're going to call that good for the sheet metal for now. Tacked in place. Bent over, whatever. That's gotta be good enough, somewhat airtight. Eventually, this will have to be reworked anyways, so we're gonna call that floor good, and let's start getting the roll cage in place, add a little bit more structure to it. That way we can use the lift, and I don't have to bend over and break my back. So anyways, let's piece together this roll cage. Nice little Lego kit. All right, so B-pillar welded in, a little bit of gap on the roof. This is actually about the same amount of contact I had on the roof and the bug when I put the same roll cage in on the same generation Beetle. So I'm gonna call that good. I could chop a little bit off the bottom of the B-pillar and shorten it some, but I don't mind that. Really just gonna hold the roof in place for when it rolls. So I did use their 1/8 inch base plates on each side, so that's the way that works. And just like the last video, we've got the B-pillar in, right? So the next critical part, especially for a weird build like this, is gonna be the front hoop and the A-pillars themselves. So I'm gonna hang the halo up in place, and then I'm going to figure out what cutting is needed for the A-pillars themselves, and we'll get those in place, and then we'll throw all the extra supports and the crossbars and whatnot. So let me jerry rig some ratchet straps, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, good old use of the cheapy ratchet straps. Got everything hanging in place. Gonna measure the halo, make sure it's plumb on each side, and tack that in, and then we'll figure out the A-pillars, which are probably the most important part of this entire build. So yeah, Volkswagen. I don't know why the Dodge Neon is stamped W right there, but pretty cool, because, you know, VW, but I don't know, whatever. Let's finish this up. I'm laughing because this is just such a silly car, and I'm about it. I am very much about it. And the secret to getting a good notch, so these A-pillars don't come pre-notched, because you're supposed to notch them yourself, because every Beetle's a little bit different, and this one fits like fucking, I don't know, 40 years of Beetles. So these A-pillars don't come notched, but as you can see, it's notched in there, and on the bottom as well. The secret, not a fancy tube notcher, just slowly but steadying, marking where it fits with the Sharpie on the tube, and hand torch, and slowly taking more bites out of where you think there needs to be more bites come out, and going from there. So yeah, not a lot to it. Probably not the best way to do it, but it's the way I do all my tube work, and I can get it to about, you know, humbly, like not even fucking around, like probably to a 1/16th to an 1/8 of an inch gap. Really leaning towards the 16th, but you know, sometimes shit happens. And when you build shit boxes, an 1/8's probably good enough. And people are gonna hate me for saying that, but is it the truth? Who knows? It might be. And as you can see right there, we have to take some more bites out of the beginning section, and then we're gonna hammer in that top flap to be in contact with the tube. And that's how it's gonna work. So anyways, I digress. I'm holding this camera with one hand trying to record. So let me just finish it and I'll show you what it looks like. And just like that, we got everything in place. That is definitely straight enough to where I'm happy with it. And you can see right there, look at that. I was talking about an 1/8 inch gap. All right, just like that, I'm happy with it. I'm also hot and sweaty, so I'm gonna go jump in the pool, cool off for a bit. This is progress we've made today, tomorrow, or yesterday and today. Wow, I'm out of it. So we've got the halo, the B-pillar, both the A-pillars welded in with their 1/8 inch plates going to the body. So happy with that. Still need to fully weld all these out. Obviously, as you can see up there, still need to fully weld everything out, but we'll get to that. I'm not super worried about it. I think tomorrow evening, it's a Sunday, so I should be able to work for most of the day. I will be able to do the crossbars, the back ladder bars, and everything else. And then we will do a fresh coat of paint, take all the old junk out of here, all the asbestos, whatever they have in here from the 70s that I've been inhaling all day. Take all this out and clean it all up, get ready for painting the roll cage and painting the body interior itself. And then we will mount a fuel cell battery in the seat, and interior will be done for now. And we'll go from there. So happy with this so far. Catch you guys tomorrow. All right, it's a new day, and I figured since we are about to do the rear section, I'll throw the seat in. This is a Corbeau 40-inch seat. This is kind of some of their pre-made stuff. This car's not gonna get a PRP or anything nice because the car's not that nice. But this 40-inch bench fits perfectly in between the B-pillar bar. So that's what we're gonna go with. It'll likely be a little bit higher. It will be a little bit higher. As you can see, it's pretty low to the ground. It's just sitting on a cardboard box back here. Nonetheless, it'll be a little bit taller, but I've already sat in it, so I'm 6'4". I like my knees being a little bit, you know, compacted, a little bit at an angle, not all the way extended. So happy with this. This will also allow other people to drive it besides me. So really good, really happy with where the seat's fitting. Kind of a lot of trunk space in the back, which is good for the fiberglass swing trunk that we're gonna put in. But nonetheless, I'm just rambling at this point. Let's get the other cage material in. So cross member on the B-pillar, down bars, etc. Kind of finish out the cage where it needs to go to the back area, and use the seat as a reference so we don't hit the seat when we're putting anything in. All right, so getting into a little bit of a fundamental of roll cage design and nodes and how long you want between nodes, if you're gonna make a new node in the center of a bar where it's weakest, etc. I mean, there's a lot of science to it. For this build, this will be 1,000 times safer than what it came factory. I'm not building this to spec for anything. Ideally, I would put the upper down bars, you know, right exactly where this node is. Actually, it should be in the middle, but I would put the node in the same spot. But for this build, it'll end up being 4 inches more inwards. And that's just because I would have put it in the center and then added some center gussets to the halo. But the tube that it came with is not designed for the cage to be built this way. But the notches that are on the tube are designed in a way that you can use them in other situations where it might be just as strong, or just as doable. So that's what I'm gonna do. If you look at this tube right here and put it in the pocket right there, I'm gonna add some plates to that pocket eventually, but we're gonna slide it up there, and that's gonna form an X on the upper and lower back bar. In theory, it'll be the same thing on the other side, and then we're gonna add a crossbar across the B-pillar. So that's what I'm thinking. I think that'll be plenty sturdy, plenty strong. The B-pillar crossbar is too long. It was too long on the side-by-side too, so maybe I'm using it wrong, but it's too long for the B-pillar itself. So I'm gonna shorten this up by 6 inches, and as you can see here, you can just match the CNC notched, assuming CNC notched tube, 6 inches shorter. So that's what we're gonna do. Chop this one on the bandsaw, or on the chop saw, and go from there. Let's get everything pieced together, and then we'll talk about final welding on the roll cage. All right, so that's everything in place. Everything is tacked in place. I gotta come in here and fully weld the whole 9 yards. We are not gonna run door pillars because it's already gonna be a pain for my big fat butt to get into already. So no door pillars. Throw them in eventually if I want to, but for now we're not gonna run them. We did run a crossbar on the A pillar, the B pillar with 2 down tubes, both at each of those nodes. So it does form an X on each side. A little bit of strength there. I mean, again, it's so much safer than a stock 70s bug. This isn't classed or anything. It's really for rigidity of tying the Dodge Neon to the bug. So I'm happy with that. Let's, what I'm gonna do now is turn the camera off and go ahead and fully weld all this out, as well as grind out all this asbestos and whatnot down here, paint everything, and show you guys the finished product. But I'm happy with it so far. Looking good. All right, guys, just like that, we have the roll cage completed and done. And the orange spray paint should give you an idea of the colors this is gonna be painted. This is the closest to like Hemi orange you can get, I think. Personally, it's like Krylon popsicle orange or something, but either way, this is the first coat of paint. Obviously, when we paint the interior black, you know, just flat black, we'll probably come back and touch it up with another coat, but here's how the roll cage looks. A-pillar crossbar, B-pillar crossbar with double kickdowns, halo on the roof. So I'm happy with that. It's holding the car together, so to speak, for right now. Obviously, with it on the lift with no issue. I'm gonna go ahead and call this video here. Next time we work, we will be, as you can see, I'm halfway. It's all orange now, but I'm halfway to pounding out the gusset on the side of the door runner right here. And we'll also build the fender liners on the inside. So we'll do some metal work next time, get the seat mounted, whole 9 yards for that. Get the rest of the interior painted black so it's nice and poppy orange. The outside's gonna be painted orange too. So anyways, yeah, I'm gonna call this one here. Happy with the roll cage. Pretty stoked with how everything's looking so far. Next time we'll be getting it one step closer to running.